think it's just the heavyweight division. I don't think it's just one promoter. I don't think he cares for that. I don't think they're looking to align in any specific way long term. It's just, I will look at every fight on an individual basis and make a decision of what we feel like is the right fight to bring to the kingdom.
Well, everything you've just said is kind of in line with my thinking. You've DM'd Tank Davis. We know that Tank, while not anywhere close to a heavyweight, has the kind of knockout power that brings that kind of heavyweight sensation to a fight. And because the promotion is not really important to Saudi, this could be the place where a fight like Haney-Davis that can't be made in the States because of promotional wrangling and such could possibly be made here. Is that the potential you're reaching out to him for?
No, we've had, a couple of territories that would like to stage that fight, but certainly I'm sure Saudi would be very interested in hosting a Tank Davis fight. That's not it's only my opinion. I don't know that for fact, but maybe it's not part of their plans. I think because of the seasons here, I have no idea if it's going to be 12 months of the year or if it's going to be specific times of the year. They've had a great run with Fury Ngannou, Day of Reckoning, Fury Usyk, maybe AJ against Wilder. Who knows what will happen after that? It's a hell of a run in 6 months.
Right. Like you say, though, the fighters are waiting for Saudi to call. I'm not saying Tank is, but I'm saying every fighter wants the biggest payday. And now you seem to be the guy, along with Frank, that can bring this payday for everyone.
Yeah, I think that this is our third fight in Saudi. Obviously, Frank did Fury and Ngannou. He's got a good relationship as well. Bob Arams. I honestly feel like it doesn't really matter who the promoter is. They're going to look at each fight on an individual basis. And they want the biggest fights.
When you reach out to guys like Tank Davis, I remember in the past you reached out to Adrian Broner, who did kind of the same thing, put it on Front Street, made it public. Do you feel burned by that?
It's not what I do. I feel like if I'm reaching out to someone on a business level, in a professional capacity, you don't really expect him to screenshot a DM and then post it straight on Twitter and then delete it 2 minutes after. But that's Tank's way. Every time I DM him, I know there's a very good chance he's going to air that. But it's the way I communicate with him. And, I heard Len Ellerbe's comments. My job, Tank's a free agent, right? So why wouldn't I contact him? He's one of the biggest stars in the sport. I want to work with the biggest stars in the sport. I'm going to slide in his DMs and I'm going to try my luck. Do you know what I mean? If it works or not, I don't care. I've got thick skin. I want to show him the opportunities that exist for him out there. But some people are very good at making fighters not listen to anything else. Do you know what I mean? And some people are very good at making fighters listen to only specific things or things they want to spin to a fighter. If I'm Tank Davis, I'm keeping myself nice and independent and I'm looking at all the opportunities out there, because the one time that Tank Davis didn't fight in-house, he made a fortune against Ryan Garcia. And he can make a fortune against Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, all non-in-house fights. But of course, the PBC will do everything they can to make him fight in-house fights.
Is there any way in which you can, in the future, work with any PBC fighter? I mean, it took Wilder separating.
A lot of them don't have contracts. So Deontay Wilder left PBC, or didn't really leave him because he didn't have a contract, and now he's fighting on DAZN. Fantastic. Anyone can do it, but I think flexibility is important. The opportunity to make big fights away from your network, not necessarily away from your promoter, but if they exist. And I like DAZN's position because they have shown they're willing to work with people. Gervonta Davis's last fight was on DAZN. It was also on Showtime. Deontay Wilder's fight is on DAZN. It's also on ESPN Plus. Do you know what I mean? Because DAZN are choosing to move in that way. And I think that's really reassuring for a fighter, that you're not going to get isolated into just making fights with your platform and your roster, Like now, if you're Tank Davis, who am I going to fight? If I fight in-house, it's probably going to have to be an Isaac Cruz rematch. That's not going to do any business, you know?
We've heard that Ryan Garcia has reached out to Devin Haney. Are you involved in those talks?
Absolutely. Well, he reached out to me, and Oscar reached out to me and Eric, and we've had, some very positive conversations. We're speaking to DAZN, and we will both present an offer to Devin and to Ryan, hopefully next week. And I believe Ryan. I actually believe he wants to make that fight. And I know Devin will take that fight. I think it's a massive fight. Ryan's already shown the commercial pull that he has in the Tank Davis fight. We know Tank's a big star. Devin's now a big star. And it's a really good fight. So, yeah, I'm hopeful that fight can get made for the spring.
You say the spring. Both of these guys have draw. We know that Devin's been over to Saudi before.
He'll be here this week.
He'll be here this week now. I know that. Is it potentially, I realize it, it could be a main event fight anywhere else, but here, could it potentially be on the March 9th card?
I mean, we will present His Excellency with opportunities, and I think there's a lot of talk about a Wilder Joshua fight on March 9th, but a lot of things have got to happen for that fight to happen. If that fight didn't happen, it looks like March 9 is a show here, and if it didn't happen, I guess they would look at Ryan against Devin and a whole host of other fights. So, we'll have to see.
When you say there's a lot that has to happen for the Joshua Wilder fight to happen, it makes people nervous, right? Like, we all came here thinking, well, this is the last hurdle to what is assured to be a fight on the 9th. It seemed to be promoted that way. What do you see as the lot of things that have to happen aside from both of them winning on Saturday night?
The contracts have to get signed and executed, number one. Number two, they both have to win. Number three, they have to win without injury or damage, which is difficult in the heavyweight landscape. It's not a lot of time to turn around. I mean, the reason that I'm not talking too much about it is because we saw with Fury against Usyk, that fight was supposed to be December 23rd. Fury got dropped, nearly got beat, and then it's not on December 23rd. So, March 9 is obviously a date that's been rumoured, but it's going to take a lot for both guys to come through, win, be unscathed, and then we'll see how talks go the next few days, and who knows what could happen. But the focus is honestly just on Saturday night at the moment.